Well, I had such a bright idea. I thought, I'm going to come and sit down here by my daffodils, my bee, my dog, and and tell you that I've worked out what it is I'm going to knit on my road trip. However, in order to get my daffodils in the shot, I'm leaning over ungracefully, and Rocky's here. I was hoping he was going to sit here, but if he had sat there, he'd be in the way anyway. All right, so the other day I went to the Joy of Yarn in Greytown. Now, James there, who's my sometimes cousin, well, no, we're somehow related, still haven't worked out exactly how, but he dyes yarn, and he has a yarn shop, and he's gorgeous. He's just lovely. He also will wind the hank into a cake as a free service. So what I have got is I've got 2 balls of this. I forget the colour. I will insert it somewhere, but it's a hand-dyed kind of orangey shade. It's a 4-ply, and I bought 2 balls of this because I figured I could double strand it as a DK weight sock. So that would knit up, and I could probably, I always say things like this, I could finish the pair of socks in this one road trip if it's a DK weight sock. So there's that option. The other one is I got this here, and I'd actually forgotten that I bought this because this is gorgeous looking. Mille Calorie socks and lace luxe. Basically, it's a rainbowy sock wool that's got this row of glitter sparkles through it, and also some cat fur. Because if it doesn't have dog or cat fur, why would anybody want to knit with it? So this one here says that it takes about it took me ages to find this, either a 2.5 or 3.5 mil needle, somewhere between there. So I'll probably do this on 3 mil, but it looks like quite a thick one, so quite nice for a 3 mil. If I can work out how to place, I can't place these anywhere. We're on a strange angle. I did also, dude, nobody wants to see your butt. Yes, you're a beautiful boy. Oh, yeah, you can just, yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Yeah, that looks better. Okay, I also picked up this box here. This box here is going to come in handy in a later video because that's what I bought it for. But what it's got is, I think, 52 different knit textures. So I think what I'm going to do is go through here, narrow it down, and work on a sock double-stranded out of this in one of these. And maybe also throw one of these on the go in case I get bored, or in case I finish an entire pair of socks. At least I'm not doing what I did last year when we went on. We had 2 massive road trips coming up, and so I packed like 12 different many different options of what I could be knitting, and I think I finished a sock. And a couple of granny squares. So, you know, here you go, just get off my knee, but try not to knock my camera over, or please don't expose your manhood to the internet. Okay, so the next task, we're going to go through here and I'll pick out some options. There's not even any daffodils, and you can just see this doofus. All right, at least it's finally a sunny, still day. It's been a windstorm for the last couple of days with a lot of rain, so it's been unpleasant. Anyway, now while he photobombs the entire shot, I'm going to have a look and work this out, and then go and pack my chili bin bag. I've also brushed and tied up my hair, not that you'd be able to see because there's a dog in my way. Well, I'm just going to go and do the thing now. I should just leave him photobombing, to be honest, shouldn't I? Right, I'll catch you later. Okay, of course the sun's gone behind a cloud. Here are my options. I'm thinking razor shell, that could be cool. I quite like that one. I quite like mock cable. I quite like zigzag lace. I really like old shale. Like, I know I like this as a pattern, but I feel like maybe I've got the wrong colour to do that. I like horseshoe lace. I like dainty chevron. I like Norwegian fur. That one feels like it could be a goer. Open work rib. Yeah, those are my options. There's a whole stack of other ones I like that I either have massive holes in them and I just don't want to get my toe hooked in it because it's a sock. I've got to keep that in mind. And there's a whole stack of cable ones too, and I would love to do that, but I don't feel like a cable needle on a road trip is such a great idea. So, open work rib is multiples of 5 plus 2, and I'm probably going to have 56 stitches. So in order to have multiples of 5 plus 2, I would end up with 57 or 62 stitches. So I feel like that one, no, I'm not going to end up with that. I'm going to end up with less than that. What am I going to end up with? If I'm doing this double stranded, I'm going to have probably 44 stitches in the round, and for 44 stitches in the round I could do this one at 47, but 47 doesn't work for the rib, so I'd have to increase one before then. So open work rib, that's gonna pause for a moment, and that will be a one stranded one at some point. Razor shell, that is a 11 plus 2. So what's 11 plus 2? So 11 plus 2, 44, 46. It could be 46. Actually, the other thing I need to work out is when doing these in the round, do I need to do the plus 2? So there's that option. So the razor shell is only 2 rows repeating. It might be razor shell, you know, based solely on the fact that 2 repeating rows, and in the round, one of them's just going to be pearl. So it's going to be an extra 2, because my bet is going to be that that row there is at the start and end of each. Yeah. So multiples of 11. So 44 would work. We might be doing razor shell. Okay, not cable. Multiples of 10. Multiples of 10 aren't going to work with double stranding this time around. Zigzag lace. Multiples of 10, same thing. Old shale, I love old shale. 18 plus 1. I know that I've came up with a version of this that's different but smaller. I mean, it wobbles over a smaller space, because 18 plus 1, that's going to be, what is 18 doubled? 36. Is it? Yeah, 36. That's not enough stitches. Another 18 is going to take it to, you can tell I'm still concussed. I can't add numbers. Either way, the numbers aren't going to work out for that. Horseshoe lace, 10 plus 1, or 10, so maybe. Dainty chevron, Norwegian fur. I think it's going to be razor shell. Let's make some razor. This is what I get for trying to record. At the end of the day, I can't words. So I am going to put the other cards away, and I'm going to transfer the instructions for razor shell into my phone. And then the next time I see you, I think we're going to be on the road and I'm going to be casting on. Either that, or it's going to be when I go and find my needles and pack my knitting bag. I might go and find my needles and pack my knitting bag. Or this is going to be the world's shortest vlog, what I would have knit on my road trip if I had thought to bring my knitting with me. Also have no idea where the dog's gone. However, and no idea where the dog's gone. Look who has come here. Yes, yes. We've got a visitation from the cat. Yes, we have been blessed. We have been blessed. Dog coming down the driveway at a rate of knots. That means he's been up to no good. All right, I need to go and pack my knitting. Transfer my instructions for razor knit, and pack my knitting bag, and cook dinner, and pack lunch for tomorrow. I've already pre-prepared breakfast. This is not my first rodeo. However, it's now getting cold because the sun's gone down. Well, it hasn't really gone down. It's just beyond the... There's a cloud up there, over there, where the sun is. I can't words. I need to go. All right, I'll be back. All right, we are 10 to 7 in the morning, I think. Sock number 1 begins. There's part of me that's like, why am I doing this? Because I'm not going to finish a pair of socks, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm going to finish like 7 pairs of socks. Roadtrip. Okay, I'm on the heel flap, and we're probably most of the way there, to be honest. I probably could have got further along in the sock if I, A, didn't make mistakes, and B, didn't stop knitting every now and again. I might still be more concussed than I think. But it is still working up quite fast, and it is quite pretty. Just pulled into home on the lacy part of sock 2. There's my daffodils looking bedraggled. Right, so this is just going to be me showing you how to do this pattern, because on the overall sock it works up really quickly and it's really, really pretty. So we've got 44 stitches on the needles. We've got 22 stitches on each side if you knit your socks the same way I do. It's an 11 stitch repeat, so it only works with this number, really. It only works with multiples of 11, so if you're going with 44 stitches for a DK weight sock for an adult foot, cool. If you want to go the next size up, you're going to have to get to 55 stitches, and that's what would work if I was making these for my partner. So it will work up 11 stitches, but you can't do anything other than multiples of 11. But anyway, it just starts with a knit stitch, then yarn over, then we're going to knit 3. I know this needle's going to make an annoying sound. The next thing we're going to do is knit 3 together. This is possibly the most difficult part of the whole process, is knitting 3 together. That's what's bringing this in on the angle. Then we're knitting 3. Then it's yarn over. Then it's knit 1. So that's our repeat. And now we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to knit 1, yarn over, knit 3, 2, 3, knit 3 together, and then knit 3, yarn over, knit 1. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but because I'm sneaky and I've already done the other side, the second row of this 2-row repeating pattern could not be easier. We are literally just knitting this row. Yeah, honestly, it's one of the least complex but interesting looking patterns that I've come across in a long time. It works up really quickly with this double-stranded 4-ply or the DK weight. It looks really pretty. I don't think it looks pretty just because I've got hand-dyed yarn. I think it just looks pretty. And I've got some ideas to make it a little bit more angular and masculine and less pretty, and we'll see how we go. So that's it. That's the 2-row repeat of this sock pattern. I'll have the full written pattern down below for these socks, because I will definitely be making them again. Now, this is 14 rows of a 1x1 rib. Then it's this pattern for as long as you want your sock to be honest. That's how long mine is. How many repeats is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've done 13 repeats, so that's 26 rows. Then there's the regular heel flap, heel turn, and then the decrease. Now, all I've done is kept the pattern going down the top of the sock, and I've made stockinette on the back. And then 1 row of knit before going into your toe decreases. And that's the sock. And you too can have a pair of Roadtrip socks. Alright, so my Roadtrip socks. Here are my Roadtrip socks. It was a great road trip. I should have my trophy here, but I don't, because my trophy's out getting engraved. I picked up my trophy for winning the award, and I knit this pair of socks. The pattern for these socks is going to be linked down below, and there is a tutorial as part of this video for this lace pattern that goes up the sock. But honestly, these are beautiful. I like the way there's like a subtle lace when you put them on. I am entering them in the AMP show, so maybe they'll come back as award-winning socks. We shall see. Yeah, I still haven't blocked them, but they are indeed complete. So, if you would like to see the rest of my videos from this Socktober, you can check out this playlist down here. YouTube thinks you're going to want to watch this one over here. And if you want to stick around and see more chaos, including this cardigan project that is finally finished off the needles after 6 months, not my longest whip, by any stretch of the imagination, you can stick around and subscribe in this top corner. I will catch you next week. Bye.